So I was wanting to trade SPI right on the bell, but I was looking at some other stocks and drawing some trend lines, and I didn't even realize the market had opened. And by the time I got back to SPI, it had already made the move up to the pre-market high. But as you can see, during pre-market, it pulled up, made a high, pulled back, and then broke through that high, and then it held that as a support level. It tried to go lower through that support level, but it rejected it twice. And I was pretty confident it was going to bounce on that support line and go up right there. But I waited too long to get into the trade, so I was just going to watch this one play out. And as you can see, it broke up through that pre-market high, but then right here it's going to close below it. And that to me is kind of a sign of weakness. It closed below half of the entire candle's range that it had right here. And then the next candle, it just immediately pulls back and sells off completely and breaks through that support line. So I don't know if that's just a sign of weakness when it closes below, half of the candle's range, but I found that to be really true today. And on SOLO, I thought I was seeing an ascending triangle, but I think I was just seeing what I wanted to see. And I realized pretty quickly it was actually a wedge type pattern it was making. It made a high and then started consolidating in a wedge, and next, that's usually a continuation pattern, so it would normally break out and continue higher. And right here, it does start to break out of the trend line. And I was thinking about taking a buy position on this, but something didn't feel right about it yet. It started pushing up, but then the volume wasn't really coming in as much as I would think it would be for a breakout. So I never actually bought yet. I still just kept my eye on it. And then it started making a red candle, and I'm like, okay, if it's breaking out, it shouldn't be going down. The next thing I know, it just drops off and pulls all the way back. So I'm not sure if it was the volume that didn't come in there or something else, but I'm glad I stayed out of this trade. And finally, this is the trade I actually did take on SCON. It pushed up, made a high, pulled back, and then pushed up through that high. And then right here it pulled back to the trend line and the 9 EMA. And I was pretty sure it was going to go up back towards those highs again, so I put a limit order in, it bought, and I was going to stop below that lower support line, maybe just below that EMA that I had following there. And then I just kind of watched this one play out. And on this candle right here, it pushed up, made a high, and then it went back down below half of that candle's wick range. And then it still looked pretty strong here, like it was trying, but it kept going really far down as well. And it just kind of, towards the end of the candle, it started looking kind of weak to me right here. And it wasn't trying to push past that high again. So right there, I went ahead and decided to sell. I just felt like, maybe it wasn't strong enough and was just going to pull off and pull back again. And then right here, it makes another candle and the volume really starts to die off. And then it closes lower on the candle's range again. And that was when I was pretty sure it's about to sell off right here. And then boom, there it goes, sold off. So I didn't have the best exit, but I was pretty happy with the trade overall. I was up $85 on it. At one point I was up, I think over 100, but I feel like I read that pretty well and I was happy with the trade. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.